Melbourne tackled the Demons. Knocked down by big Mark Lee. Ryan gets the first hand pass out. Onto Mitchell. Gets the hand pass back to Ryan. The Tigers moving forward, albeit slowly. Chance for Lambert. Mitchell couldn't quite get there. Opportunity for Rock for North Melbourne to try to clear the ball. And finally picked up by Darren Crocker. And the ball is over the boundary line in front of Bauer. We'll see a boundary throw in about 60 metres out from goal. Opportunity there for Mitchell, but it was missed.
One of the quickest players in the league, Michael Mitchell, and one of the best tacklers.
Boundary throw in. Knocked down by David Cloak, past Larkin. Back it comes to Rock from a standing start. 35-metre kick. No one can mark the ball. In fact, the umpire's paid a free kick. It'll go to North Melbourne. And on the half-back flank, it will be taken by Peter German. And of course, players this year can hand pass from a free kick. That was to Schwass. The ball is it that a mark or is it a free kick? Or out of bounds? It was a Richmond ball. Back up towards the centre square. Mitchell. He can steady and kick from there. Long kick. Will it go through? You ripper! It's a goal! First blood to the Tigers!
One goal, the Tigers, first score of the game, and North Melbourne, of course, yet to score.
And Michael Mitchell, the player on screen who kicked that goal, found plenty of room there with a bouncing ball over the top of the pack. He got away from his opponent on that occasion, Ross Smith, who was giving him a fair bit of latitude there, and he got the right bounce in the goal square.
Well, back to the centre of the ground. That's a surprise, but, well, they're a team of goers, Richmond. Early in the game, of course. There's Dean McRae trying to get in a hand pass. Number 19 is young Hamilton. Eventually it's Peter German from centre wing. Will he kick a goal? 40 metres out, he straightens up. He's a straight kick. What a great goal to Peter German.
Well, two great goals in the first couple of minutes of the game. We could be in for a top night, Bernie.
Yes, one goal apiece, and North Melbourne answered that one very quickly, and that's where you see the poorer sides don't seem to apply the pressure in the middle of the ground. And there's Peter German running out of the middle very easily. No Richmond player applying pressure and kicking that one from just in the 50, inside the 50-metre line.
Peter German, one of the more experienced players in the North Melbourne lineup. Back into the centre, knocked away by Hepburn. And North Melbourne can come forward again here. Ball driven up by... That was kicked by McCarthy. It's a goal. Another one. Well, three goals in about 3 minutes at the MCG. 12 plays 6.
Yes, that was brilliant play there by McCarthy, grabbing that one out of the centre bounce. Here's the bounce. Hepburn, a good knockout. McCarthy coming in from the centre square. Off the side there, and McCarthy, who was a brilliant long kick of the football, kicked to the open square and it bounced through. So good play by North Melbourne.
Well, a great start to the game. 3 quick goals and a bit of feeling out there too. Number 3, young Anthony Rock on the right of screen there. Another youngster, Matthew Knights, who played a fine game against the Brisbane Bears. That's Anthony Rock now on screen.
Wearing Jimmy Cracker's old number, Pete.
Yes, and I noticed that Andrew Cracker is wearing
Phil's number,
number 8. Well, back to the centre. Oh, big fist. That was by Hepburn towards the half-forward line. It's socket off the ground. That was by Rock. The hand pass comes over to Larkin. Larkin sets it up for his forward now. Can they take a mark up there? No, they can't. Longmire in after it. Ooh, some strong work in the clinches there as Longmire has a pot shot at the goals. Back in front. And the mark has been taken by McCarthy about 8 metres out, almost directly in front. And I would say a certain goal coming up, Bernie.
Yes, and good play there by John Longmire setting that up. He used his body well. Put a lot of pressure on the Richmond defenders.
Well, a great start by North. They've already kicked 2. This guy has got a ton of talent, McCarthy, from Tasmania. Directly in front, lays back and pops it through for another one. 3 goals straight, North Melbourne. The Tigers on 1 goal.
And all starting at the centre bounce with the North Melbourne ruckman Hepburn getting the knockout on the last 2 occasions. And it's got up to the North Melbourne forward line very quickly. I was very pleased to see the way Longmire attacked the ball and attacked that Richmond defender, used his body, won the ball, and the quick kick found McCarthy.
Mark Lee and David Cloak, two members of the Richmond side tonight that played in the Tigers premiership team 10 years ago, would you believe, 1980. The other one is Dale Waitman, still playing, but of course he's not in the side tonight. Pickering's kick is a short one, doesn't travel the required distance for a mark to be paid. A scramble develops still inside the square. The umpire's whistle has gone and the bounce will be affected just on the Tigers' attacking side of centre. Great start to this game here. Lambert seems to be okay. He got met pretty heavily as Larkin went for a hand pass. Now there's Lambert again. Last week as well, almost in the same time of the first quarter. Knights, short pass, couldn't find Egan. Mitchell, first to get to it, tries to get it back to Egan, couldn't do so. North Melbourne's defence pretty strong. Good knock on by Smith. Back it comes to Stevens. Stevens in turn up towards the centre square. Carey, 20-metre hand pass to Larkin. North's running players looking good so far, but the Tigers won't give an inch, and the ball is carted over the boundary line for Richmond by Bauer, and we'll see a throw in 65 metres around from North Melbourne's attacking area. 18 plays 6. Boundary throw in front of the MCC members. It comes to German, who's been brilliant so far. This is Rock, a centering kick, but not good enough. And the mark is taken down there for the Tigers by Bowden.
Bowden, of course, the son of Michael Bowden, who played in the Richmond premiership side. He gets it out to Lees. Oh, good tackle by Carey. Caught one across the ear as he did the tackle. Good play by Carey. Sets it up for his forwards. Here they come. They charge at the ball. McCarthy tries to peel to the mark. Good play, too, to get on with it when he realised the umpire hadn't paid the mark. Tried to give the hand pass and players pounce on the ball in the goal square.
Good work by Carey there across the half-forward line, putting the pressure on Lees, not allowing him to run out.
Richmond under enormous pressure. Lee will probably try and tap it through. He does so and puts it across the line for a behind to North Melbourne. So North are on 3-1-19. Richmond on one straight goal. And this is Hamilton about to bring the ball back into play. Only a young player, Greg Hamilton. They've got plenty of young guys playing tonight, Richmond. Now here's one of them. No, it's not. It's Brendan Bauer. I thought it was Matthew Knights at first, but Bauer goes towards half forward. It's stumped away by McRae. That was good play. Anthony Rock at the base of the pack. Players desperately trying to move it on. Lambert's got it at half forward for the Tigers. A long hand pass to Justin Pickering. Pickering straightening up from 50 metres. Sets it up for the forwards to take a mark. It's over the back with Cloak. Brayshaw's caught. Back it comes to Egan. Egan a quick kick. Pulled off the ball. Taken away by Schwass. Good defensive. Melbourne as Schwass heads out towards the half-back line. And
once again, Bernie, I think the lack of height in the Richmond forward line illustrated there.
Yes, and there's not a lot of mobility there either with David Cloak stuck in that forward pocket. But good to see Wayne Schwass, the winger, right back, helping his defenders, getting the ball in the back pocket.
Wayne Schwass, the winner of the Morrish Medal in 1987. Chance for Knights again. Loose ball. Justin Pickering takes the hand pass. Oh, steady. Hit David Cloak with it. Gets it back to Mitchell. In turn on to Ryan. Ryan 30 metres out, stumbles at the crucial moment. Grabbed it, he had the ball. Picked up by Stevens for North Melbourne. So some elementary errors being made on the Tiger forward line. Larkin with a lovely hand pass. He'll get it back again. It came from McCarthy, who's already scored a brilliant goal so far for the Kangaroos. Out in front of Lees, gets cannoned into by Carey. It'll be a free kick, don't worry about that. Lees out last week, back into the Tiger side tonight, and pressured into going across the ground. Larkin goes the spoil, gets it down to Stevens, 15-metre hand pass to Cracker, who also stumbles and fumbles, but he can make amends. That's the Cracker kicking style for a goal. Cracker's first. North Melbourne go further ahead at the MCG, 4-1 to 1 goal.
Well, a great start by North Melbourne. They're looking very, very impressive. That's Michael Pickering, a quick kick out wide. Lambert, very small side, Richmond, but he's a class player, Lambert. Mitchell A chance against Ross Smith. It comes to ground. Crocker's in after it. Here's Mitchell again. He's a very quick player and a very good player as he gets it out to Trent Nichols. Nichols trying to get around onto the left foot. Oh, they're putting enormous pressure on down there. That's great play, Peter German. Here he goes. He elects to kick it long instead of having another bounce. Cracker waits at the back. He's got support from Carey. A chest mark. He straightens up directly in front. He's popped it through for another one to North. This is great football.
Carey's first, and it's raining goals. 5-1 to 1 goal. I guess a similar start last week at Carrara, except the Bears weren't quite so quick in getting the goals on the board.
I think the impressive thing so far about North Melbourne is the way that their centre line and on-ball players are getting back into defence and helping the defenders and giving the Richmond forwards no room to breathe. And they've just run the ball out of there and finding plenty of room as they have moved down the ground. There's plenty of space to kick the ball into.
Kevin Bartlett we saw looking a little bit worried, and I think he might be at the moment, because North are winning the ball too easily out of the centre. German's been brilliant so far. And here they come again, North Melbourne. Larkin, likewise, we could describe in the same words. Rock, 15 metres out, shoots. That's another one. Rock's first goal. This is brilliant football. 6-1 to 1 goal at the MCG.
Yes, it's sensational play by North Melbourne. And they're winning the ball so very well out of the middle. Carey's doing well at centre half forward. Their running players are doing well. And the thing I like about North Melbourne, they're a team of workers as well. And they certainly don't give Richmond any latitude when they've got the ball.
.31 points the margin. Well, what a start by North Melbourne. This is how they played in the Foster's Cup Series. Here they come again. Peter German, 50 metres out. A low trajectory drop punt. It's another one to North Melbourne. It's raining goals.
German second, North Melbourne seventh. 7-1 to 1 goal.
Well, this is an amazing start by North Melbourne. 7 goals won. Their kicking's been absolutely magnificent. Only 16 minutes gone in the first quarter. 12 minutes gone, 16 minutes to go. So it's been amazing the amount of goals they've kicked. And it's coming because they're winning the ball so well out of the middle.
This could be a record quarter, this coming up, Bernie, if they keep up this pace.
Back into the centre. Well, plenty of time for North Melbourne to possibly get 10 for the term. There's German. He's been the real catalyst this quarter, I feel. He's been a star. Rock. He's kicked a goal already so far. And Larkin. If he's been tagged, I haven't seen his opponent. Oh, he's missed. And booze for Matthew Larkin.
Yeah.
He might get dragged.
Poor Tigers would be shell-shocked, wouldn't they, after this opening?
How would you like to be coached now? What would you do? Honestly.
Well, I've got no idea what you do here, Peter.
You hope and pray, I guess. Hamilton brings the ball back in for Richmond. Thumped away by McCarthy. And it will get to the boundary line for a throw-in.
I really wonder how much a guy that dropped out last week, Mark Hepburn, dropped out before the game last week against Melbourne, and he's their best big man. Must have made an enormous difference to them.
Well, they're winning just about everywhere at the moment. Buckley overruns the ball. The hand pass comes out to McCarthy, who's kicked a couple. Cracker's kicked one. Centering kick under pressure, out in front of goals. Knight should gather for Richmond, does so with a long looping hand pass. It comes to Nichols. Nichols on the half-back flank, clear of Schwartz. Back to centre wing. Chance for McRae to punch the ball clear. Tiger fans were looking for a free kick, but there was none there. Richmond badly needs some sort of momentum to get going, to see if they can get themselves back into this quarter and, in fact, back into the game. Ryan's hand pass intended for Lambert. Wasn't a good one. Plenty of mistakes being made. Hepburn grabbed. In fact, could have almost had a free kick. It's booted down by Stevens towards full forward, and North players running riot everywhere.
It's a pity that
Richmond. Sorry, buddy.
It's a pity the Richmond hard work is always let down with a poor, sloppy hand pass there.
Now, he could make it almost impossible for Richmond, even at this early stage. Is he missed, or is it a goal? He's got it.
8-2 plays 1 goal. What a start. And kicked off the ground by German. He's been absolutely brilliant. That's Bauer trying desperately to get it out of the centre. It's punched further afield towards the North Melbourne forward line. Again, there's Carey. He's going to be a very good player one day, that guy. They're very desperate tonight. Lambert, I think they got a shot last week, North. Here's young Anthony Rock taking the mark at 50 metres, and they're going forward again. Danger, the lead is on. He was held. That'll be a free kick. That was held from behind the play, Longmire. Poor play by Michael Thompson. He was grabbed by the jumper, umpire right on the scene, and a shot from 20 metres out directly in front. There, you watch this. Did he hold him? Yes, he held him by the arm.
Pete, I can already tell you that is a record quarter for North Melbourne. It beats their previous best against Richmond, set in 1945 at Punt Road when they kicked 7 goals, 3.
Longmire for his second. No doubt about it. It's another one.
John Longmire's second. 3 goals, or 3 players this quarter have kicked 2 for North.
Yes, 9-2. What a score. North Melbourne have kicked so accurately. And I think there might have been a bit of holding both ways there. And Michael Thompson, unfortunately, the player who was caught. But I think Longmire, trying to make that lead, also interfered slightly with Thompson. But he made him pay for it as he kicked that one through for his second. And North Melbourne's 9th.
So it's already a record quarter. Kevin Bartlett almost looking enviously into the North Melbourne box. What can he do? It's an avalanche of goals here at the G. Lee up high, loses out to Hepburn. And here they come again, North Melbourne, a chain of hand passes. The ball booted up by Wayne Schwass towards the boundary line. No score. Longmire has kicked 2. German has got 2. McCarthy has got 2.
Longmire, Bernie, probably would have been better off leading straight up the ground then.
Yes, definitely, Peter. And he would have had a difficult shot had that pass been accurate, because he would have been on a fairly tight angle.
Mark Lee palms it down, looking for support. Justin Pickering back to Nichols. Nichols' kick up towards the centre wing position, and there's a mark to the Tigers, taken by Pickering. Now a chance for them. Knights. Is that a mark or a free kick? Egan claims it. Brayshaw might get a free kick. Things not going the Tigers' way. He's gone short to Hepburn. He lays off the hand pass. Angus. Out and turn to Crocker. Crocker on left centre wing. Melbourne doing as they like at the moment. McCarthy, he's a strong mark. And as I said just moments ago, he's kicked 2 goals already. And they're creating the loose man so easily. And there's a good mark to Carey.
This is an absolute hiding.
They've got some talent, haven't they, North Melbourne?
This guy could be anything, Bernie.
It could be a champion, both those players, Carey and McCarthy. I think McCarthy could be a superstar one of these days also. But the poor Tigers, they just can't do a thing right.
Not at the moment. Carey coming in for his second. We've still got 11.5 minutes of the quarter to go. So, as I said, it's already a record quarter for North Melbourne against Richmond. And what's he done with that? It's a goal. Carey second. And North continuing in amazing form. 10-2 to 1 goal.
Well, this is amazing, Peter. It's just wasn't to be expected. Both sides losing last week, but North Melbourne with a very talented forward line. There's a great mark to carry over the top of his opponent, Lees. But I think the Tigers would be a little bit dispirited already, because they just haven't been able to get into the game at all.
Well, although they've been thrashed, I think it's a pretty poor effort so far by Richmond. A few of their experienced players have got to really help those young guys out a bit. Here's Brian Lees. Oh, he's caught. That could be holding the ball. Umpire has paid that.
A very good decision, because Lees took on the North Melbourne player there, and the umpire was definitely right.
This is Anthony Rock setting it up again for his forwards. The ball hits the deck. Oh, it's socket off the ground by Nichols towards centre wing. McRae wrestling out there with Michael Pickering. He's grabbed and he didn't have the ball. It'll be his free kick on centre wing. He immediately plays on, swings onto the left foot. He's a real trier, Pickering. Up to the half. Oh, a clash of bodies there. David Cloak against Crocker. Crocker a little bit too skillful. Gets around Cloak with ease and drops off a hand pass to Angus. Angus, oh, this is good football by North, as we see another hand pass from McRae. He's tackled, though, allows Justin Pickering to take it away. Back goes Crocker. Brayshaw's there also. A hand pass finds Ross Smith. They're backing up beautifully in defence, North Melbourne. Out to centre wing. Larkin with great skill. Leads it off the pack. Plenty of options by Larkin. Enormous skill as he eventually gives it to Rock with a hand pass. A further hand pass puts the North player under pressure. Could have been in the back. Umpire calls play on as we see a hand pass coming to Stephen Ryan. And Ryan with a long kick to full forward. They need someone to take a mark, and punched away by Brayshaw. Grabbed by Cloak. 35 metres out from goal, but it's a poor kick by Cloak, and the mark has been taken by Brayshaw in the goal square.
Brayshaw transferring play onto the outer side. You look for Schwass. Back to Crocker. You could almost sort of say that was Learising. But North Melbourne do get clear through Donald McDonald. Back up to the centre wing, no mark paid. Chance for the Roos. It was booted away by Liam Pickering. 3 Pickerings out there on the ground tonight. And the ball beating Thompson over the boundary line at the right halfback flank for the Tigers.
Michael Cloak with a great opportunity on the Richmond forward line to kick a goal, only 30 metres out, and didn't make the distance.
So it's going to be Lee against Carey. Lee wins it down. Knights, he's probably been their best player so far. Lees has had plenty of work to do on the Tiger backline. He's got 5 mates up there I think we could describe in the same words. Out it goes to Crocker. He's well shepherded too. Cloak making good use of the body. And there's ample in that department. Larkin, he's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant so far, Larkin. Look at that hand pass onto Smith. Didn't get a favourable bounce. Knights tackled well by Smith. And North Melbourne applying plenty of pressure. Justin Pickering had it and lost it. Lees too high the tackle. The umpire says play on. The Tigers do. Knights to Mitchell. Here they come now, the Tigers. Lee takes the hand pass from Lambert. Egan just hasn't got the height down there, and they're really lacking in that department. Snapshot for goal. And the game from Gale. One behind. And that's their first score since Mitchell scored the first goal of the match.
Oh, this is a trouncing, and the sad part about a game like this is for the spectators. As we see Brayshaw over the top to McDonald, and they've looked sharp and they've looked really fair income right from the start of the game. There's Schwass doing some wrestling. Now, the umpire might say he got into the back of his opponent. He did. This is Sean Bowden. No, it's not his free kick. Going further afield, Mr. Brendan Gale. Now, this is the brother of Michael, who plays for Fitzroy, and their dad was an All-Australian player. He played in Tasmania, a famous name over there. Now there's Allison, back to Ross Smith. Towards the centre of the ground, Cloak has dropped a sitter there. Anthony Rock in after it. Peter German also. Rock has grabbed it. A quick kick to the forward line. Pressure again on the Richmond back line, but that was a very good attempt to mark. A little bit stiff not to be paid that. Oh, nearly unloaded. Further afield, it's a chance now as we see it coming to Carey. That was from McCarthy. Larkin's there, Longmire's there. They've got tremendous backup support. Longmire over the top to Cracker. Andrew Cracker lines up. Is it another one? No, it's not. He's missed. So he's still got time to have a grin. He's very confident, Andrew Cracker, brother of Jimmy and Phil. 10-3 North Melbourne. Richmond 1-1 in an absolute hiding here at the MCG, and Richmond have made a change. Coming on is Naish, and off the ground for the Tigers has gone Craig Smith.
Well, it might be academic, that move. German to Cracker to Schwass. Well, they're doing this easily, North Melbourne. This will be another goal, and in fact it is, or has he missed it? No, he's got it, Pickering. That's a goal.
Going to kick. They've kicked 11-3. That is an enormous score in one quarter of football. And there's still plenty of time to go. There's a free kick.
Well, Peter, it's their best ever quarter against Richmond in any quarter of football.
Well, it's been champagne football, and they've been aggressive. They've been tough. Here they come, rebounding again as a hand pass comes out to Brayshaw. Brayshaw wide. He's looking for Ben Buckley. Buckley over to McRae. Beautiful teamwork. The short pass is on. There's the lead, and there's the mark by Longmire. Oh, they haven't got a weakness, North Melbourne, the way they're playing tonight. They've kicked 11. Longmire from 50 metres. Lines up the goals. A booming drop punt. Is it coming back? This could be another one. Yes, it is. 12 goals to North Melbourne.
Longmire's third. It's a trouncing at the MCG. 12-3-75 to 117.
Well, I can't remember a start like this, Peter. It's just been amazing, the North Melbourne teamwork. And the poor Tigers, look at that lead. A good, strong lead from Longmire out in front of Michael Thompson. And a great kick from goal, just on the 50-metre line. Made it easily. A good 55, 60-metre kick there from John Longmire.
Previously, North Melbourne's best ever quarter against Richmond was in round 5 at the MCG in 1989 when they kicked 10 goals 2. And tonight here at the same ground, they've certainly bettered that very, very easily. So Richmond have really got to get a rattle on if they're to get back into this game. In fact, a super optimist would suggest that they might be able to do it. Gale takes the mark at left half forward flank. Another young fellow with not too much experience. And the leader's on. Pickering takes it. And within kicking distance. Now they got first goal of the game to Michael Mitchell. And what a brilliant goal it was. They've only scored one behind since.
Seem to be talking about that first goal a lot tonight,
Oh,
Peter.
magnificent goal. That one of the best I've ever seen.
No monetary interest there, was there?
None at all. Michael Pickering directly in front. 45 metres out. That's broken the drought for the Tigers. Pickering's first, Richmond second, 12-3 to 2 goals 1.
Well, that was better by the Tigers. At least they got the ball out of the middle. A good mark by Gale and a little bit of movement on the forward line by Pickering. As we see the kick, the long kick into the forward line. Had a bit of space there to move into, Gale. And he went back quickly and found Pickering, who was on a good lead. And so the Tigers maybe they're just getting something towards the end of this quarter into their game.
Probably a good move to put Michael Pickering up there. A couple of seasons ago he played permanent forward pocket. He's a big mark and can kick a goal, and they need a bit of goal kicking power up there. As we see Angus trying to crash his way through the pack.
Would have been lucky not to be penalised there.
The Tiger supporters thought so.
Held to him, I thought, Pete.
Yeah, not a lot in that, but the umpire is elected to bounce. A number of players in there around the ball. Cloak, with his experience, gets it down, but little Cracker, well, he's going to get better and better as time goes on. Cracker over to Ross Smith. Beautiful pinpoint pass out to Rock. Rock immediately gets on with the game. He's found Stevens. Stevens again goes forward, and they get another one north. No, a good mark there by Nixon. A quick hand pass finds Justin Pickering. Oh, it's not their night, Richmond. Justin Pickering has proceeded to put it out of bounds on the full.
That's another of the mistakes I was talking about, Pete. They get the ball, they win the ball, they do the hard work. So many times the handball or the kick misses the target.
Anthony Stevens, very impressive in the night series. Now, Longmire up in front, gets it to ground. Cracker's there. A clever hand pass over the top towards goal. Pickering in front is grabbed, taps it back. Still danger for Richmond because North have got it. There's Peter German with a quick kick. But it's taken away by Brian Lees. He's under enormous pressure down there at centre-half back tonight. The ball is at half-back. That was a very, very good mark. Over it goes, further afield to Hamilton. Hamilton with the long kick up towards half-forward. Crocker goes back and takes a very easy mark at half-back for North. I think that was Pickering took that good mark. Michael Pickering a moment ago.
He's covering a bit of territory, isn't he? Smith, 50-metre defensive line for North Melbourne. Up towards centre wing, and Rock, he's played a good first quarter. Good attempt to mark. Knights grabbed by that same player. A hand pass comes out. It's a Tigers ball. Ryan takes it from Naish. At left half forward now for Richmond. It's driven by Michael Pickering up towards the square. But Smith, not reliable in defence, over to Larkin, one of the stars of the first quarter. He and German. And then again, I suppose that's being unfair because McCarthy, who's got the ball now, has also been brilliant on the forward line. So what's he doing down there? Chance for Liam Pickering to mark. Couldn't do so. Nichols, short pass. I think Ryan was going to take it initially, but Naish chips in. Back it comes. Nichols again at the circle. They haven't really gained much, Richmond, except they've retained possession, and the mark is taken by Tony Free, their best and fairest winner for last year. That's a shocking kick. I don't think any forward would be too happy to get underneath that. McRae. Oh, offloaded with a beautiful hip and shoulder. Nichols again from a standing start, puts it to within about 20 metres of goal. Mitchell was the flyer. Brayshaw does the tidying up work. Over to Donald McDonald. Out to Cracker. And doesn't he look like his brothers? He's a real personality too, Andrew Cracker. I was talking to him a couple of weeks back, and he works for Melbourne University, loves his job, loves his football, Pete.
Oh, he's a good player. A lot of skill like his brothers. And, well, he's not playing on his brother's reputation. He's playing on his own, and tons of ability. Only a youngster. We keep forgetting some of these North Melbourne guys are only about 17 or 18 years of age, and he's one of them, little Andrew. And he's a bit of a mixture of Jimmy and Phil in a way. He kicks like Phil, but looks a little bit more like Jimmy and plays like him. Here's Larkin, the brilliant Larkin. Over the top to McRae. Further afield to Germany. He loves a run. One bounce. Will he have another one? No, he sets sail for goal. This could be another great goal. No, it just drops short. Longmire is the flyer and takes the mark, but he'll be on a very acute angle now. Was he off? And the umpire had blown time on.
So he would have brought it back anyway.
Yes, he has to go right round on the boundary line here. Now, he might look for the short pass, or he might kick it off with a banana kick, or he might run out on the left foot. He's gone for the banana kick. Don't tell me he's put that through. Let's see. Yes, it's another one.
Second quarter begins at the MCG. The Tigers trailing by 68 points. Hepburn, thumping punch away. Down it goes to half forward. Chance for Knights to pick the ball up and get the ball out. Free. A looping hand pass intended for Lees. Not a particularly good one. Gives two North Melbourne players the opportunity to pick it up, but it's out of bounds. And we'll see a throw in about 15 metres around from the behind post. Temper's becoming slightly frayed, but I don't really think much will develop from that.
Well, I think Kevin Bartlett was right. They've just got to man up, and they've got to be a bit tougher at the centre bounces and put a bit of pressure on the North runners.
Well, there's not much you can do when Hepburn thumps the ball 30 metres like he did then, Peter. You know, there's hardly a centre square contest.
Longmire and Lees.
It doesn't help, I think, when you hand pass 25 metres backwards to the opposition's forward line.
And then miss the target as well.
Looks like Lees has gone to full back.
And I've said, well, that's probably his best position, although he does concede a lot of height to many opponents. Cloak knocks it down, but it's picked up by Rock for North Melbourne. A high kick just wide of the square, and Matthew Larkin has taken the mark.
Well, they've got classy players all over the ground, North Melbourne. Matthew Larkin, the new captain of North Melbourne for the season. Chipping in there against the flight of the ball. The North Melbourne player there, Longmire, seemed to be in the better position, but a great mark by Matty Larkin.
11 possessions to Larkin so far. That's his 12th and results in a goal. So Larkin's first goal. 8 North Melbourne players have now kicked them, and the scoreboard at the MCG in a bath so far, 14-3, 87 to 2-1-13.
And that's just what Kevin Bartlett doesn't need. I think he would have liked the Tigers to show a bit of fight here in this second quarter, especially at the start of it. Let's have a look at that mark again from Matthew Larkin. Going against the flight of the ball, kept his eyes on the ball all the time, and that was a great mark.
Lambert waited for Brian Lees to come out and punch the ball, but he was outmanoeuvred. But I certainly missed him in the night final when he went off with a hamstring injury, Matthew Larkin. There's the ball in the centre of the ground again. It's tapped out by Hepburn to Rock. Rock towards half forward. As we see charging after this is Sean Bowden. Bowden with a high ball out towards the boundary line. That could be out in the full. It is. So things not going their way. The Tigers have been absolutely outclassed. This is the sort of form we saw in the Foster's Cup series from North Melbourne. And in fact, a lot of people put North Melbourne in their final 5. Now this is Tony Free from half-back, kicking long. That's the way to do it here at the MCG. Right down towards half-forward. The mark was dropped by Lee. Ross Smith to Buckley. Over to Hepburn. Oh, here they come again, North Melbourne, as we see McRae going for the chip pass up in front. This is Longmire. He's kicked 4 and he'll go for his 5th.
Well, he could get the record tonight, couldn't he?
Well, we saw double figures last week. Bernie, can Longmire do it?
Well, the way he's going so far, and the ball's coming down to the North Melbourne forward line so quickly and so regularly, and it's making it very tough for the Tiger defenders.
John Longmire has kicked 4 goals. He's going for their 15th, and it looks good. It's another one. Yes.
5 goals to John Longmire, and North Melbourne grind them into the dirt. 15-3 to 2-1.
Well, we could end up seeing an all-time goal-kicking record tonight, Peter, because Fitzroy kicked it in 1979 against Melbourne when they kicked 36-22, and North Melbourne nearly halfway there already.
Were you part of that, Bernie?
Yes, I was playing then, Peter. 79 it was.
records of plenty being set tonight. 80 points the difference already in this game. So anything could happen. And once again, it's a North Melbourne ball. Knight's probably Richmond's best player so far. And back it comes to Bowden. This time the kick won't go out of bounds on the full, as his previous one did. McRae to Allison on the ground now. Allison goes for a short pass. Spears it in beautifully. Magnificent teamwork from North Melbourne. 12 possessions to Rock. He's gone for a short pass. Longmire keeps the ball in play, and that could almost be a free kick. The umpire says no, nothing for it. Holding the man, was it not?
It should have been holding the ball.
Well, I thought he lost it in the tackle, Pete.
Did you?
I thought he did, yes.
Well, you'd be right, Bernie.
Brownlow medalists are never wrong when it comes to umpires. Lee, Bowden. Good tackle by Cracker. Certainly pressured him well, and Cracker finishes up with the ball. Good tackle by Tony Free. Liam Pickering going through solidly with Schwass. It's booted through.
But I think the umpire paid a free kick, didn't he?
Yes, the free's been paid. I think he paid kicking in danger against Wayne Schwass.
Don't blame him.
And Mark Lee not too happy with things at the moment. And this is maybe what the Tigers need to show a little bit of spirit.
Yes, I would agree with those comments.
He's pretty desperate, Schwass. Great player, and this could be 50 by the looks of it.
Yes, it is, Pete.
They need something going their way, Pete.
Here it comes.
He really threw the boot in there, Wayne Schwass. Dangerous situation. Good courage shown by the Richmond player.
Lees has the free kick for the Tigers. He'll be just about on the 50-metre defence line. And he'll go straight down the ground with the kick. Not a long one. Big pack of players up. Angus had two hands to the ball and gets the same two hands to shoot out the hand pass intended for McRae. A good block by Ryan. Keeps the ball away from him. And it's out of bounds on North Melbourne's attacking side of centre.
Stephen Ryan, of course, played in the Richmond under-19s premiership side last year and is the brother of Des, a senior player.
80 points the difference. Over the top, Smith wins it down. Rock, he's been a star too for North Melbourne. Ryan again pressuring him, but he's carted the ball out. There's not much of him, Pete. He's not very tall, but he's got a lot of possessions, hasn't he? 13 so far.
He's as tough as granite.
He looks it. If you're watching the Flintstones. Hepburn and Lee. North Melbourne, again, they're running players. They're superb. And it comes to half forward. Oh, good tackle by Stevens on three. The ball does spill free for Allison. He's going to get a free kick, though.
That was definitely holding the ball.
Stevens. Not to left half forward. Again, backup support, but Mitchell this time chips in beautifully for Richmond. Kicked the first goal of the night, and the mark is taken by Trent Nichols on right centre wing.
Trent Nichols, so last season he was blonde, obviously gone back to his natural colour.
Or another colour.
Yeah, or another colour, that's right. Here's a chance for Pickering, he tries hard in the back. And I'd be tempted to play Michael Pickering up around the goal square because they need someone to take a mark and kick goals.
He's their classiest forward, there's no doubt about that. That's a free kick again.
And there's a bit of brotherly love, I think, as the short pass comes across to his brother Justin, who is certainly within kicking distance. Will kick from about 48 metres.
They're certainly missing Hogg out there, aren't they?
They are, and he tore a hamstring last week against the Bears up at Carrara, and he is a good full forward, a good leads well. They certainly need someone tonight to kick a few. Here's just a shocking kick by, he seemed to stub the ground. That almost a mark down there. It's a tap on. Oh, good strong tackling. Look at the tackling and the pressure put on by North Melbourne. Great defensive play by Brayshaw as he taps it through for a behind, and they're getting the claps of their own supporters, and rightly so. 15-3 to 2-2.
Golly, they're desperate, Pete, aren't they, those defenders? I hate to see any goals go on the board for Richmond.
They've only got two so far, and they've had to earn those. Over the top, Mitchell. Stevens gets bundled over by Nichols. Throw in about 60 to 65 metres around from the scoring area.
They've got a few lookalikes north, haven't they? Stevens, Pickering and Allison.
Help on a dark night. There's Nichols again. Tries to get the hand pass out to Bauer. Smith was in the road, though. Chance for Schwass. It's not a particularly good hand pass. Stevens read it as well as anybody possibly could, I guess. Hepburn. Gets underneath the ball a little bit. Not a long kick to position, and the mark taken by Nixon from half back. And that's a good mark to Ryan. Bowden. So some system finally. Bauer. Short of the left half forward flank. Oh, Buckley, beautiful mark. Umpire would play it. Greatly improved. He's a much better player this year, Ben Buckley. He thoroughly deserved the captaincy. Smith.
No, Larkin.
Larkin. He was one of the candidates, wasn't he? Trent Nichols.
He had a stint, didn't he, in the night game?
He did have it, yes. He was captain for one night. This is Naish. And Naish would be 60 metres out from goal. Richmond needing a goal. That's the understatement of the decade so far. And that will be rushed through. One behind. So 17 minutes and a bit left in the second quarter.
They haven't got many. Sorry, Pete. They haven't got many goal kickers down there. David Cloak. I think he's played his best football a couple of years ago, and he's certainly not a forward that they can rely on to kick a lot of goals.
Hepburn certainly appreciated his presence back in the side. There's Carey having a great battle with Nixon down there. Little Anthony Rock's got it to Carey. Carey runs to half forward. 40 metres out. Pops a goal. Will it sneak in? I think it has. I think it's another one. Yes, it's a goal.
Carey putting through his third goal for North Melbourne. 16-3, 99 to 2-3-15. Lee gets the tap out, but it doesn't go very far. Intended for Bauer. Lambert diving on top of it, and it's going to be a bounce at midfield once again. It'll be a night that both sides, I dare say, will remember for quite some time, especially that first quarter. And what an onslaught that was. Hepburn, Lambert, McRae overruns the ball. Lambert wins out in the end. Oh, a good punch away by Hepburn, but it comes back to Lambert, who was shirt-fronted pretty solidly in the first quarter, as he was at Carrara last week. Rock. German. Oh, brilliant stuff, as he was in the first quarter. And so was Larkin, the real skipper. Out it goes, 60 metres from goal.
I noticed a couple of times Matthew Larkin hasn't really sprinted hard at the ball, and I think, Bernie, you'd agree, when you've had a hamstring injury, that's pretty typical.
Well, I don't think I've ever had a hamstring, Pete, so I can't comment on that one.
He didn't run fast enough.
Nichols, well, Larkin's had 13 possessions so far. He's done brilliantly. This is one of the best pieces of individual play from a Tiger tonight. He's still going, Nichols. Well done. Oh, what a grab to Pickering. Who said put him on the forward line, Bernie?
Me.
He was quick to claim that one, Pete.
Well, he should be there all the time.
Well, I agree. He's one of the few Richmond players who have shown that they are capable of kicking goals. But on that occasion, the ball brought down through the centre, and Pickering won out. Had the sit. A great mark.
Yes, tremendous mark. Mark of the night. In fact, probably would get mark of the round, depending what happens in the next couple of days, but it'll be a top candidate. There's no doubt about that. And a goal. Thoroughly deserved. Michael Pickering's second goal and Richmond's third. 16-3, 99 to 3-3-21.
Yes, as I said, Michael Pickering, one of the few proven goal kickers on that Richmond forward line. He's kicked over 120 goals in his career. Good play by Nichols, running the ball down.
Yes, wasn't it?
4 or 5 bounces. And Michael Pickering with a sit there. That was a perfectly judged mark.
Great spring.
I'd be even tempted to...
What are the moves you're going to make?
I'd keep him down near around the goals. They've got Egan there. I'd change he and Egan, because they certainly need a focal point, someone who can take a mark. There's Angus, crashing his way through the centre of the ground, up towards half forward. Here come North Melbourne again. Rock's been magnificent. Over to German. He loves a goal. 30 metres out. Peter German says, thank you very much. I'll have another one.
3 goals to German. And you couldn't get a quicker reply. Rock, German, Larkin, they've been brilliant. 17-3, 105. The century is up. 3-3-21 Richmond.
And how's that for a goal-kicking exhibition from North Melbourne? 17-3. That's amazing accuracy, especially in a night football where not a lot of goals are usually kicked. But I suppose it is a perfect night for football tonight, and North Melbourne are making the most of it.
12 possessions to German. Rock has 16 possessions, 10 kicks and 6 hand passes so far, and that one was really telling. Bauer on to Nichols, who had an assist in their previous goal. Ryan and Justin Pickering at left half forward for the Tigers. And has he got the mark, Egan? I think he's been paid it, yes. Just plucked it up from the turf, millimetres from it. Didn't have the height for full forward, but a very creative player. I think Peter used in the right position. You can see their height, 180 centimetres, and that
has kicked some goals at full forward before.
Yes, but is too short, isn't he, for that position?
He's too short, really.
That's close. Goal umpire says full points. Free kick of the second half. Carey up to half forward for North Melbourne, and that's a strong mark. By gee, they're strong on the end. Longmire, he's going for goal number 6. He might be just a little bit too far out to score. Gets onto it all right. Nothing wrong with that. That's pretty close. Goal umpire says it's there. Great kick. Goal number 6. John Longmire, too short of the record. Or 2 to equal the record. 19-7 to 4-8.
Yes, good play there by John Longmire. An excellent lead and a great kick to position by Carey. There's a long kick from Longmire just outside the 50-metre line, and he can certainly kick the ball long distances, can John Longmire.
And again, just what Kevin Bartlett didn't want to start the third quarter. Back into the centre. And who's going to get it out again? Will it be North? As indeed they have done for most of the night. Almost could have been a push in the back. Lambert comes up with the ball for Richmond, shepherded by Bowden. And his kick has almost gone North Melbourne's way. But I guess that's symptomatic of the night the Tigers have had. Andrew Cracker, tackled by Justin Pickering, nearly runs into Ryan, gets the hand pass out. Taken by Rock from Hepburn, back towards midfield. Here come North Melbourne through Allison. Allison down to Longmire, on a lead again and marks.
A big chance tonight for John Longmire to kick double figures. He's already kicked 6, going for his 7th, and well, he'd be thinking of double figures, I'm sure, being a full forward as he comes in to have his shot for goal from about 30 metres, 45-degree angle. It's a good-looking drop punt. That's his 7th goal.
They're one short of the record of Malcolm Blight and Jock Spencer for North Melbourne against Richmond, 27 to 4-8.
And North Melbourne have continued in the same vein as they started that first half. As we see the lead up, Allison on the lead, John Longmire, too easy. Richmond defenders are having a very tough time because the ball is being delivered into that North Melbourne forward line with precision.
Well, this is an absolute hiding, and what a start to the third quarter. That's Larkin getting it to Anthony Rock. Longmire again. Oh, they've got to do something, Richmond, and do it drastically. Longmire from 35 metres going for goal number 8. Well, this will equal the record, as Peter Landy said. Jock Spencer and Malcolm Blight, 2 former North Melbourne champions. Longmire kicks, and he kicks accurately. Another one to the North Melbourne side.
Yes, it's been a beautiful
bounce. About 51 metres out. Knocked down by Lee. Now here's a chance for Bowden. A hurried hand pass. Knights, German. Can he kick goal number 5? Will it bounce through? It'll go pretty close. Longmire. A wrestle in the goal square with Thompson. Now the end result, Thompson gets the free kick. Transfers play to the outer side. Mark is taken by Hamilton. And Greg Strawn's old number 19. Nixon, dropped it like a hot spud. Hamilton off the ground again, covering plenty of territory. Allison on centre wing. MCG is getting a bit chopped up here. This is Steele. Spearing past, Longmire on a lead. Now he's kicked 8. He's got a chance to break the record.
This could be the best start ever, Bernie, for full forwards. If this is another double figures tally.
Let's see if he can get the distance. He should. The accuracy, maybe not. It's only one behind. Well, the best goal-kicking effort in round 2. We have to go right back to 1931. It was 14 by Doug Strang of Richmond, and interestingly, it was against North Melbourne.
There's Craig Smith now bringing the ball back into play. There's a congregation of players at centre-half back, and then they fan out to the flanks. Mark Lee has to do more. Hepburn has been well on top in the ruck. This is Trent Nichols. Oh, tried to do a little bit too much. He's trying to lift the side. Look at the tackle of Cracker. Tremendous play, Andrew Cracker. He is a very good little footballer. Matthew Knights to Egan. Oh, Egan's run into a trouble here. He might be caught. No, he's got the pace to get away. Over to Lee. Lee comes through the centre of the ground. Now, what can the Tigers do? Up to half forward and a good mark. Is that Michael Pickering? It is. And that's where they should play him, Bernie.
He's their only shining light on that forward line, Michael Pickering.
Well, he's kicked 2. As we saw that lovely mark, Royce Hart type mark that as he drifted across the front of the pack. 8 kicks, 8 marks. And he's kicked 2. He's missed a couple as well. He shouldn't miss this one. He's only 25 to 30 metres out, almost directly in front. Another one of the crew cut kids. Michael Pickering. Real honest performer all the time. And there's the kick, and he's popped it through for a goal.
Michael Pickering's third goal for Richmond, their leading goal kicker tonight at the MCG. 5-8-38. The Tigers, North Melbourne 21-8-134.
Yes, he's been good on the forward line, Michael Pickering. A couple of strong marks. Has kicked accurately. 3 goals, 2 in a total of 5 goals, 8. So Michael Pickering has done his job on the forward line. Not many other Richmond players have featured on that forward line tonight.
Michael Pickering's third goal. Easily Richmond's best bet up forward at the moment. Certainly in the absence of Hogg. He was out to beautiful hip and shoulder that one, wasn't it? Cracker picks up the crumbs. Well, in fact, almost picks up the crumbs. Naish tries to beat him to it. Some tunnel ball there. It finally comes out to Knights. And he's pressured. Did he have the ball? German, the opportunist. Steele. Look at North Melbourne players. They're streaming down the ground in 2s and 3s. McCarthy has it and then loses it. He'll get it back again. No, he won't. Good tackle by Knights. McCarthy finally to German, who likes a goal. He's missed that one. Going for goal number 5, Peter German.
As the umpire missed a free kick in the centre there. Should have been a free kick to Matthew Knights. He was manhandled when he didn't have the ball.
5-8 to 21-9. Thompson to the outer side. Buckley. Good fist away. Oh, player crashed to the ground out there. Stevens just trying to pick up the Richmond player.
Well,
who was it?
Tony Free. But I saw Michael Pickering was down on the half-back flank, and he covers an enormous amount of territory.
Doesn't he what? Bounces right on 50. Hepburn. He's done well tonight. Cracker's kick is high to full forward. Longmire jostled away by Thompson. Bowden picks up the crumbs. And finally, Richmond getting the ball out of defence. This is something they've been failing to do a lot of the night. Smith didn't really kick it anywhere. Look at this hand pass from Schwass into the open spaces to create opportunities for Allison, who goes into the pocket and kicks out on the full.
He does that a fair bit, Bernie. Brett Allison.
That was a kick where he wasn't under pressure, and he had 2 North Melbourne players there as targets. So poor delivery there by Brett Allison.
Craig Lambert has had a very quiet night, as he was last Saturday night after being crunched early. It's on half forward for North Melbourne. A strong tackle on Smith. There's number 11, Angus, for North Melbourne. Warwick Angus. The kick up towards halfward. Schwass tries to trap it. Longmire's in after. Now it's Schwass. Will go for a quick hand pass. An option of 2 players. There's Steele. Further afield to McCarthy. Another goal on the board to North Melbourne.
McCarthy's third. Tony Free again. Lee in front. Oh, gets well underneath the ball. Angus. Lambert chases after it. Steele is pinned. Now it's McRae. Another Schwass. There's a beautiful kick on the run. Let's see how he goes here from 60 metres out. And this is to the near side and one behind. North Melbourne in the first quarter, Bernie kicked those, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They kicked superbly in that first quarter. But this has turned out to be nothing more than a training run for North Melbourne.
It's a bit of a practice gallop. Now 3 North Melbourne players were there. Angus gets ridden into the ground by Lee. The ball is shuffled out to Stephens, who put the elbow out. Not seen by the umpire. No damage done, luckily. Rock. Well, he's played a ripper game, this fellow. Shot at goal. Longmire, yes! Now he's got to have a shot this time.
Well, he might kick their 30th too.
Unless he sees somebody off the edge of the square.
Well, he's thinking about passing then.
Well, he's put himself on an impossible angle, so obviously he's going to run around. And 3 Richmond players wisely standing there to stop him if they can. I think he's kicked it. So does the goal umpire. 10 goals, North Melbourne's 30th.
Well, that's a great performance by young John Longmire playing at full forward. He came down as a full forward and played most of last season at full back. Did a good job there. Good play by young Rock getting the ball into the forward line. And look at that goal. That's a fantastic kick around the corner from John Longmire. And from a very tight angle.
Well, congratulations to the young full forward as we see Pickering across to German. Will he give it to Longmire? No. He runs down the ground 45 metres out from goal. He's flattened as he kicked it and he puts it out of bounds on the full. But, oh, look at those North Melbourne supporters, and rightly so. One time since they've seen their side kick 30 goals. Up towards half-back it goes. Is that a mark? Is that a mark?
It should have been. I think he took that.
Umpire said he didn't get first bite of the cherry. Wayne Schwass was the player appealing for it. The North, let's have a look in replay. Oh,
worthwhile paying that. There was about 3 sets of hands, I reckon. Schwass should have been allowed that one.
Well, it's at half forward. There's Wayne Schwass, a very, very exciting player. There's Mark Lee trying his heart out. It comes further afield from Nash to Ryan. Now it's McRae. Has lost it to Bowden. Oh, in again after it, Dean McRae. Cracker goes in the lender hand. The umpire said to push him the back. And that will go to Stephen Ryan. Now Ryan is at half back as he brings it around the outer wing. He's found a teammate there, a good mark. Taken there by Gale. Gale back to Ryan. Ryan swings onto the left foot, sets it up for his forwards. Now, can David Cloak take a mark? He can't. Nash, a snap. Taken by German, who's been his normal brilliant self. To Smith, to Cracker. Oh, good teamwork this. To Pickering. Beautiful hand pass. It's a Barry Cable type hand pass. Ben Buckley gets it to Schwass and then goes and collects it again. Buckley, fine example. Towards half forward and Carey. Carey to Rock. Now where's Longmire? Out he comes. Good play by Longmire to attack that ball, and he's got it too. This is his opponent Thompson over to Justin Pickering. Pickering the half back, and it's punched over the line there by Lambert.
Well, just looking through the record book again, Pete, it's already their highest ever score in VFL football, beating their best against Brisbane. It's already their greatest winning margin. And in the first quarter, it was their best ever quarter in league football. So it's been a record-breaking night here at the MCG. Trent Nichols gets around Schwass. Brayshaw underneath it. That would have been a miraculous mark had he brought it off. Mitchell gives the hand pass to Egan. Egan directly in front, should score from there. I don't even think he's got it behind, has he? Or maybe he scraped it in for one. He has. So only 1 point.
18,000 the attendance, Pete.
And if they were North supporters, they'd be pretty happy. North's previous best was against Brisbane last year, round 9 here at the MCG, when they kicked 25-15. They had a score earlier, round about similar to that, but this has been a great effort tonight from them. It was last year I'm talking about. Now this is McRae. Not McRae, it's the other Mac, McCarthy. Onto Steele. Steele from centre wing. Into Buckley. Buckley marking in front of Bauer. Bernie said earlier, it's just been a practice gallop, really. Now, can he do it again? Longmire. Yes, he can. That's number 11. Number 11 for John Longmire. 2 minutes left in the match. 31-17 to 9-14.
Fantastic performance by John Longmire. He hasn't done much groundwork. I didn't think he was a very good ground player, but he showed a fair bit of pace here, John Longmire, getting around the Richmond defenders, getting set on that right foot and swinging it around his body, tumbling end over end for another goal. 11 goals, fantastic performance.
The 11th goal of John Longmire has brought up the 200 points too. 31-17, 203 they're on now, and here they come again. And he might kick a couple more. There's still 2 minutes of play left, and Cracker's got it. You can bet this will go to Longmire. You watch this. The short pass is on. Yes, there it is. That was a dead set. Lay down Mazaire. 11 goals he's kicked. Well, he's going to equal Jason Dunstall's 12 of last week. Look at this pass.
He's getting pretty close to the all-time goal-kicking record in round 2, which was by Doug Strang in 1931. That was 14. And, of course, Gary Ablett holds the record of the MCG with 14 goals against Richmond last year. 12
goals to John Longmire. Great performance by the young full forward.
And as I said, it's already North Melbourne's highest score in VFL football. 32-17 to 9-14, Bernie.
Yes, that's a magnificent performance. 18 marks, 22 kicks, 12 goals, 5. So John Longmire. But it would have, as I said earlier, Peter, it would be a pleasure playing full forward in this North Melbourne side tonight. The way they've delivered the ball, there's been no pressure whatsoever from Richmond, and they've ran the ball down as they liked.
And there's going to be some full backs this year, have some nightmares with Dunstall, Lockett, Longmire, Bennett.
And yes, there's a few there, especially if the weather stays dry. Rock's going to get the free kick. Rock from centre field goes out wide. The target was Cracker. He just didn't have the height. And the mark is taken by Tony Free, who gets free onto the left foot, lobs it high, tries for Pickering. McDonald might be able to gather the crumbs. In fact, he can't as we enter the last minute of the match. Michael Pickering getting a pat on the head. I think he got a kick on the hand as well. Let's hope there's no damage done there, because those hands have helped Richmond tonight. Oh, Rock nearly got a broken hand from one of his own players. Schwass. Mark missed by Free. Cracker got a push in the back. Lambert thought about giving it to Mitchell. In turn goes straight down the ground. Knights. That was well done. There's the siren. North Melbourne putting Richmond out of its misery at the MCG.
For the